Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about how to get her to respect you again. So if there's a woman that you're thinking of and you want her to respect you more, then basically what goes hand in hand with respect is that, with other people respecting you, is that you need to respect yourself too. If you don't respect yourself, then there's not really much you can do with getting other people to respect you. It always seems to me like the people that don't care that much about what others think, the people that respect themselves more and have standards and conditions in their life, are the people that get the most respect from other people. Okay. So how can you develop this then, right? Because it may be the case that you don't care about certain things. Like, let's say you're really well respected at work, right? But let's say you come home and your wife doesn't respect you, or you've got a girlfriend that doesn't respect you, or you was dating a woman and she doesn't respect you. That's because perhaps you, for whatever reason, are a little bit weak in that area, that you're not showing much self-respect in those areas, right? So what you got to do is you got to think about, okay, what areas do I actually really respect myself in? In what areas and conditions in my life do other people seem to respect me more? And what you do is you start applying whatever it is that you're doing in those other environments into this romantic environment to get this woman to start respecting you more. Okay? Because for whatever reason, you may be acting weak, you may be acting needy, you may be acting mopey, or whatever it is that is putting her off and making her not respect you. So as you can see, like the respect goes in hand with other people's respect, goes in hand with how much you respect yourself, right? And sometimes you have to have these standards, you've got to have these conditions, right? So let's say, for example, that you let women walk all over you, right? For whatever reason. So if that's the case, then of course they're not going to respect you, because let's say, for example, that, you'd go on a date with any woman, right? Let's say you don't really have that much standards when it comes to women or something like that. Then if that's the case, then of course other women are going to walk over you and things like that, because they can tell that you're just grabbing anything you can get, basically. You're just trying to have anyone that you can get. And if you have that and you don't have standards and you don't have conditions, and basically you're just desperate and you're looking for someone, then they're not going to respect you, because they can sense that desperation, the fact that you would have just anyone because you're afraid of being alone. So what you got to do then is you got to have standards and you got to have conditions. And one of the ways you can do that is by figuring out basically the kind of woman that you want in your life, right? You know, what are the things that you would absolutely love to have in a woman, and what are the things you absolutely would not love to have in a woman, right? So, for example, you may want a woman who doesn't want kids because you don't want kids, right? So that's something there. That's a deal breaker. That's something that you're looking for, okay? Another thing might be, okay, you want someone that isn't a cheater. You want a faithful woman. So that might be another thing. Right? Let's say you don't want a woman who is very masculine. Let's say you want a woman who's very feminine, right? Then that is a condition for you, right? That may be a deal breaker for you. Let's say you want a woman who is into health and fitness, right? Then that's a condition for you, right? So that means if you go out on a date with a woman and she says that she's basically a couch potato, then you'll know that you no longer want to date that woman, and you're gonna, basically say no, basically to going on any more dates with her. So you've got to have these things. You've got to have standards. You've got to have conditions, right? And when you see a condition that is not acceptable to you, then you simply walk away, okay? You can't let people walk over you as well. You've got to think of like, okay, so how do I let this woman in question, like, how do I let her treat me? Does she think it's okay to say nasty things to me, to belittle me, to make me feel awful about myself? Is she treating me in that way? Right? And if she is, then you need to say to her, and to say to anyone basically who's treating you in a way that's making you feel small and belittled, you got to say to her or them that, you know what, I don't really like the way you just spoke to me, so I'm going to go. But if you want to apologize, you have my contact information. But I'm going to go because I want to enjoy the rest of my day, and you're just bringing me down. So goodbye, right? That's what you got to say to anyone, not just women, but anyone who disrespects you. Okay? And you may have to measure the distance between you guys for a bit, right? You may have to spend less time with them. And you may even have to cut them out of your life completely if they don't change their tune. Because someone who loves you and respects you, right, will actually say, oh, I'm really sorry, I didn't know that was hurting your feelings, I'm really sorry, please don't, leave my life or anything like that. They will, apologize for treating you badly, because they're fearing basically that they're going to lose you if they keep on treating you that way. And that's what you have to put across. You have to be firm in that way. It doesn't mean that you're mean or you're horrible to them. It just means that you're firm in your standards. You're firm in the way that you prefer to be treated by other people. And if she doesn't respect you, then she's probably treating you in a way that isn't very nice. And you've got to let her know that you're not going to tolerate that. Okay, then you're going to walk away. But like I said, it's not like you're mean or horrible to them or her. All you have to say is, like what I said, look, I don't really like the way that you're treating me. I don't like the way that you're speaking to me right now. So I'm going to go. But when you're ready to apologize, get in touch. But I'm going to go. I'm going to go hang out with my friends. I'm going to go and hang out and stay at my parents for a while. Or I'm going to go and stay at my friends or something like that if you live together, right? Or you might just say, look, I'm going to go home, right? If you're out with her, right? That's kind of what you need to put across. You have to be firm like that, right? And it's kind of like a little bit like a negotiation, right? They're going to either realize that, oh, yeah, I've been acting really badly, I'm really sorry, and they apologize, or they're going to test you more, right? So that means they're going to carry on with their same behavior when they next see you, right? And if they still continue to do that, then you have to be firm again and basically say the same thing and leave, right? And then hopefully they change their tune after that, after testing you a little bit to see if you really are this new person that you're kind of like portraying and this new vibe that you're giving off, right? Or they just won't change at all and you'll probably never hear from them again, or they'll just continue to belittle you. And then in that kind of case, you need to cut them out of your life. Or if you can't cut them out of your life for whatever reason, let's say you go to school together or you work together, you got kids that you need to communicate with, then you just spend as less time as possible with them as possible, right? And you communicate with them as minimal as possible. And the only times you do communicate with them is when you absolutely have to. You don't try and prolong the conversation. You don't do anything like that. But that's kind of like what you need to do, right? That's how you get someone to start respecting you. Because if they haven't been respecting you, then they probably have been doing something that makes you feel a little bit small, a little bit belittled, and not very nice. Basically, you just don't feel good about yourself, right? They make you feel crummy about yourself. And like I said, another way that you can do that, another way you can gain that respect is think of other areas where you're respected. It might be that you're very respected among your friends or among your family or among your work colleagues, right? Maybe you're really respected at work. Then what you do is you apply whatever mindset you've got in those situations to this situation, right? And you start acting from that, because it might be you're really strong in some areas, but you're really weak in other areas because you've kind of split in a way, right? You behave differently with that person than you do with this situation, right? So if you want that person to behave in the way that other people respect you, when other people are respecting you, then you need to start applying what you're doing in those scenarios to this scenario, okay? And that will help with that, right? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.